The appearance of even the most harmless spiders does not inspire confidence. Everyone knows that it is better not to touch these creatures. There are a huge variety of them in nature, and many of them are dangerous to humans. Poisonous spiders are distributed all over the world, and you can meet them both in the tropical forest and in the garden of your home. In this video, we will look at the most dangerous spiders for humans. Yellow sac spider. Despite their compact size of about 1.5 centimeters, these spiders are quite dangerous to humans. Their bite feels similar to a wasp sting, but the consequences are much more serious. And the vast spider's habitat is found throughout almost the entire territory of Europe and Asia. Its bite is not fatal, but can cause a severe allergic reaction. Victims experience acute burning pain, swelling of the bitten area, vomiting, dizziness, chills, increased temperature, and blood pressure. Of all European species, this spider poses the greatest danger to human health. Their powerful chelicerae are able to bite deep into human skin and introduce toxins into the body. Yellow sac spiders do not weave webs. They take refuge in the leaves and inflorescences of cereal plants, where they build a temporary nest at a height of 50 to 100 centimeters above the ground. It is a kind of sleeping bag with holes. During the day, spiders hide in it, and when night comes, they go hunting. Sometimes forays are carried out during daylight hours in cloudy weather. As a rule, people become its victims by accidentally disturbing the female protecting the offspring. Kakert or steppe widow is another species of spider from the genus of black widows. If you think that all kinds of poisonous reptiles live only in the tropics, then you are mistaken. Kakert or steppe widow can be found in every corner of Europe and Asia. They are found in Kyrgyzstan, the desert zone of Kazakhstan, and in the steppes of Kalmykia. Although the Kakert venom is inferior in strength to the venom of the black widow, which lives mainly in South America, the Kakert venom stays in the blood much longer, and their venom is 15 times stronger than that of a rattlesnake. These spiders are especially active in June and July, so you need to be especially careful in their habitats during these months. The bites of this spider can kill camels, horses, and humans. The bite causes sharp pain, and after 30 minutes the poison will spread throughout the body. A person may have delirium and clouding of consciousness, but timely medical assistance will save from death. The sting is immediate and feels similar to a wasp sting. Zoology professor Pavel Yustinovic Marikovsky advises, in field conditions where the ambulance will not reach quickly, to cauterize the bite site with a flammable match head, a method that is of course painful but effective. Heating destroys the poison that has not had time to be absorbed. Since the spider bites through the skin to a depth of only half a millimeter, this method will only help if no more than 2 minutes have passed since the bite. Livestock suffer greatly from Kakert bites. Camels and horses are especially sensitive and usually die. During the years of mass reproduction of this spider, significant losses of livestock occurred more than once, and livestock farming suffered heavy losses. Now, in places where Kakert breeds, it is destroyed by spraying the soil with acaricides. Sydney funnel web spider. From the name it is clear that this spider lives in Australia. They live in damp places under houses, in various crevices in the garden, and in compost heaps. Their white webs, 20 to 60 centimeters long, extend into the soil, which has stable, high humidity. The entrance to the shelter is woven with funnel-shaped webs, hence the name funnel spiders. The Sydney funnel web spider secretes a venom, a compound called atraxatoxin, which is highly toxic to primates. The venom of a small male is 5 times more toxic than that of a female. This type of spider often settles in gardens near human homes and crawls indoors. For an unknown reason, it is representatives of the primate order, that is, monkeys and people, who are especially sensitive to the venom of the Sydney funnel web spider, while it has a non-lethal effect on rabbits, toads, and cats. When disturbed, spiders release poison into the body of the victim, and the aggressiveness of these arachnids is so high that it is not recommended to get too close to them. Since the development of an antivenom in 1981, Sydney funnel web spider bites are no longer as life-threatening. But the symptoms of the action of a toxic substance are characteristic: heavy sweating, muscle cramps, copious salivation, increased heart rate, increased blood pressure. Poisoning is accompanied by vomiting and pale skin, followed by loss of consciousness and death if the medicine is not administered. The brown widow has a less scary reputation than the black one. The brown widow's bite is considered to be twice as strong and painful as the black widow's bite, but only a small amount of venom is injected, so the bite is less dangerous to human health. The brown widow has an hourglass mark on the underside of its abdomen. Unlike the similar markings of some other black widows, the brown widow's is bright orange or yellow. Like all representatives of the widows, this species has a medically significant neurotoxic venom. However, the effectiveness of the poison is minimal for humans, and the species has a reputation as the least poisonous of all the widows. Due to its small size, the species can also be mistaken for a harmless steatota. However, only poisonous widows have a distinctive characteristic, an hourglass on the abdomen. The red widow is a rather rare species that has only been seen in the forests of Florida. The spiders live under the leaves of sand pine, which is common in peninsular Florida. The spider has a red or orange cephalothorax and a black abdomen with yellow rings around red spots. Black widow. The bite of this spider may feel like a small prick, which may not seem like a big deal, but the victim will very soon feel severe muscle pain and understand the seriousness of the encounter with this spider. Most often the bite leads to convulsions and paralysis of the diaphragm, which makes breathing difficult. The black widow is not aggressive towards humans and bites them only for self-defense in a hopeless situation. But as a rule, due to the small size of spiders, such a situation is very easy to create. A spider can hide under any leaf, touching which threatens to bite a person. About 2,500 black widow bites are reported annually in the United States. Fortunately, modern medicine can cope with such bites without risk to human health, since in 1956 an antidote for widow's poison was created, but in the 19th century many of the people bitten died. The Chilean recluse spider is poisonous and extremely dangerous to humans. It can be found in South America, in particular in Chile, Peru, Ecuador, Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil. It is one of the largest recluse spiders. Typically, the Chilean recluse spider grows up to 4 centimeters. The spider is not aggressive, but does not try to avoid humans. It often crawls into houses and can hide among clothes in dark closets. A person puts on clothes and receives a bite. Its bite is very painful. People who have experienced a spider bite compare it to a cigarette burn. Many deaths have been recorded from the venom of this spider, and it all depends on the dose of the poison received. Necrosis occurs at the site of the bite, the affected tissue dies, and treatment can last up to 6 months. Six-eyed sand spider. He chose a harsh habitat for himself. These are sandy areas in southern Africa and South America. Unlike its arachnid relatives, it prefers to attack its prey from an ambush. Quickly moving with its long legs, the spider almost completely buries itself in the sand. Its venom is one of the 5 most powerful venoms among spiders. The spider buries itself in the sand, waiting for small insects or scorpions, which make up its diet. Having noticed its prey, the spider attacks with lightning speed, injecting deadly poison into the unfortunate creature, and waits for it to take effect. Literally after a few seconds the insect dies, and the spider slowly begins to eat. Having been well nourished, he can go without water and food for a whole year. Perhaps this is why the lifespan of the sand spider sometimes reaches 15 years, which is not entirely usual, because most species close to it barely live to be 3 years old. These deadly insects hide among sand dunes, under snags and stones, and between tree roots. Fortunately for people, sand spiders are very shy and try to avoid encounters with them. Their poison is so toxic that scientists still cannot understand how it does not kill its owner. The venom of the six-eyed sand spider contains one of the most powerful toxins ever found in living things. Cryotoxin causes severe ruptures in the walls of blood vessels, which in turn leads to extensive internal bleeding. To date, it has not been possible to create an antidote, But, despite this disappointing fact, there are only 2 known cases where people died from the bites of six-eyed spiders. These arthropods are too rare to be of serious concern. The Brazilian wandering spider is considered the most dangerous and poisonous for humans. This spider is not so scary in appearance, but it occupies an honorable place in the Guinness Book of Records as the most sinister killer. This title was received and well-deserved. The venom of the greenish spider killed the most people. It is dangerous because it does not have a specific habitat. It can live anywhere, so it is better to know the killer spider by sight. Many people don't even suspect that store-bought bananas can contain mortal danger. And such cases occurred in different parts of the world. Antivenom for this spider is common in Brazil, but in Europe it is extremely difficult to find, so a bite often ends in death. The Brazilian wandering spider is not only poisonous, but also extremely aggressive. It does not weave webs, but constantly moves. This spider prefers to lay eggs in bananas and thus spreads throughout the world. There are known cases when a poisonous spider stopped the work of a supermarket in the German city of Bexbach. It was lucky that the store employees noticed him in time. Not long ago, an Englishman from Liverpool accidentally saw a poisonous guest in a bunch of bananas he had bought and already brought home. Sometimes they crawl into the banana itself, and upon arriving home, when removing the peel from the banana, a poisonous surprise awaits the person. This very active and aggressive spider lays tiny eggs on the banana peel, and they are simply not noticed at first when checked. The hatchlings are also poisonous, as are the adults, and they can grow until the boxes of bananas reach various supermarkets. But you shouldn't worry too much about this issue. Such cases happen extremely rarely, and before packing bananas in boxes, I treat bananas with special substances to kill various fungi, bacteria, and spiders, among others. Well, that's all for today. Thank you all for watching. If it was interesting, support the video with likes. Thank you for subscribing, and take a look at what else we have prepared for you.